Welcome in. We're hanging out at the Redbird Games. We are raising money for what I think is one of the greatest charity events all over the country. Ellen, I'm going to ask you all about it here in a sec. But how many years in a row now is this that you guys have been doing this event out in my hometown of the Nashville area, Franklin, Tennessee?
You want to take that one?
Go ahead. It's what,
Oh, yeah.
sixth year or fifth?
This is the 5th year. We've been around for 6 years. We
Right.
didn't get to have it in 20.
So for people who are not familiar with what the Brett Boyer Foundation is and what y'all do, kind of give us the pitch.
So we started the foundation in honor of my daughter, Brett, Luke and Caroline's niece. She had congenital heart disease, and she also had Down syndrome. And when she was 7 months old, we lost her to her heart defect. And we decided we wanted to fund research that could have saved her life and help the kids that are still battling on, and then celebrate her Down syndrome diagnosis. That was the best thing that ever happened to us.
So you are incredible at the work that you are doing. And we did an event, I think, in September where you told some of the stories about the families that you guys are helping. Give us one story to give people an idea of what you're doing for people now and the difference that you're making with the Brett Boyer Foundation.
Probably the most exciting thing that we've seen outside of the immediate family support that means so much with the instant gratification of helping people is there's a research project that we funded fully by ourselves that today this kid will be here, that 100,000% was the only option that he had and has changed the trajectory of surgery. And so seeing that kid grow up and knowing that those things have come to light because of the impact of Brett's life is, all we could ask for.
Yeah, what percentage of kids with Down syndrome have a heart defect?
50% of kids with Down syndrome will have some sort of heart defect, and our Brett had the most common type of heart defect that kids with Down syndrome typically have. She had an AV canal defect. And thankfully, 97% of the kids that have her particular heart defect do really well. We just fell in the 3%.
Luke, so much of the world we live in is filled with negativity, right? You get on social media any day. What's it mean to you to be able to just come out and do something that's 100% positive in a world that's often filled with so much negativity?
Well, this is probably our number one day of the year being out here. We get these people to our farm, and it's grown and it's become things. Year one, I look back and I'm like, how did we even survive year one? We were literally writing stuff down on a piece of paper. We want people to come outside and do something other than, nothing against golf tournaments, but everybody does charity golf tournaments. We wanted to bring people out. We've got a bass lake, we've got trout fishing, we've got bull riding. We're on the putting green, and we created something that my wife has taken a big love for. It's called Putting for Purses.
It's awesome. We do it every year.
So
You
fun.
get on the mic and talk some trash as people come up. And
hopefully some of my trash talking will never leak out into the world. But people come to the farm. We have people have the opportunity to shoot sporting clays, do target practice. And what's really cool for me is because of American Idol, and I grew up doing this stuff, but I have a lot of people that come in from all forms of life, from ABC and can I say that?
Yeah.
I have people that come in from all places that have never even been on a farm.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're down feeding goats and getting a better understanding of kind of farm life and stuff like that. So we've been able to really educate people on coming to the farm and obviously CHD. And I tell you, one of the most amazing moments I've ever had, my wife and I, we were down in Rosemary Beach.
Phenomenal place, by
Yes.
the way.
We were down at a candy shop in this, I can't remember the kid's name, but he was about 18 years old, and he was tip-top shape, like doing flips, and had to have immediate heart surgery. And do you remember that kid?
Yes, he had a transplant.
Yeah, he had a transplant.
Yeah.
And he was linked to he was linked to the Brett Boyer Foundation, and he turned around and it's like, thanked Caroline and I, and he showed us his scar, and Lord, we're crying in the candy shop in Rosemary Beach. So when you look at what we've been able to do, and Ellen and the team. I mean, our team is like, and the doctors that are out there pioneering heart work. And when you talk about a heart of a 1 week, 2 week old child, you're dealing with things the size of
a walnut.
And so many people have it. I mean, I'll have a buddy of mine that I've known for years. They were like, yeah, I had a heart deal. They don't even know what it was called back then. So it's just been an amazing thing to bring awareness. And Ellen can even tell you, I mean, she knows all of the terminology more than doctors.
Ellen, if people out there are watching this and they're thinking, man, that sounds like something I'd like to get involved with, how could they help?
Well, definitely following our page and helping to share. That's been one of the biggest battles. That's why we think that research is so severely underfunded, is that this disease is so invisible. The kids' shirts are on. You have no idea that they may have spent the first 18 months of their life in the hospital, that they may have had 5 or 6 open heart surgeries. And so helping us spread awareness, because the more we get the word out there, the more likely we are to get additional, NIH funding for things. But being able to visit our website, we're always able to donate on there, follow our page on socials, and then on our website it's how you can get involved in our events. So we'd welcome their support.
Luke, last couple of questions here. Football, Ellen, you can jump in too if you want.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready to break down. So when you're on the road and it's a Georgia football Saturday, because you got concerts to do, there's obligations. You were sharing your schedule, which is pretty crazy. You're all over the place for October. Do you get updates if you're on the stage during a game?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem.
How do you handle a game?
Georgia, Kentucky was a night game.
Yeah.
And I go on stage at a little after 9, and Georgia kicked off at 7. But thankfully, would put them away. We'd kind of put them away, so I could just I have talkback in my in-ear monitors.
So they'll legitimately give you a score.
They'll give you score updates. The funny thing is my year 1 on Idol was when Georgia made the first national championship run.
That was the 3rd and 26. Not that you want to think about.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. But
Alabama.
It was the game where. So I'll tell on myself under the American Idol desk. Let's just say I've had an iPad
watching the game during the
streaming. Yeah. If sometimes in the history of American Idol, if you see me while Lionel and Katie are talking and it looks like I may be praying, I'm actually watching an iPad down.
Not quite as moved as you're appearing to be.
Right. I mean, yeah, but if you see me like clutching my pen,
yeah,
but there's been some rubs
of good luck there.
Well, there's been some time scheduling where I've missed big Georgia games. And work got in the way, but hey, I'll take missing a few games and knowing we got a great football team.
Last question for you. We were just doing Big Noon, and Urban Meyer's on that desk. We were having some fun with Matt Leinart, who's a Monster fan, was just texting me right after. You're a Georgia guy. You probably don't want to like Urban Meyer because he's the Florida football coach. But how does it – I'm curious, like you have so many fans from so many different fan bases now. When you meet a coach and you like him, but he's trying to beat your team, how do you handle it?
First of all, pretty much for about 20 years, anybody that coached Florida.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, we just really.
You guys got your ass kicked in the cocktail party for a long time. Yeah.
So, in Urban, like I said, when Urban came in, we're like, oh, God, we're going to get a break.
Yeah.
Because a new coach. Spurrier's out of there, which was. And then Urban comes in, and we're like, oh, my God, it's happening again. But so I think deep down, if you're a true sports fan, I always it's like Saban. You got to respect what he's able to do. You got to respect what Urban Meyer's able to do and guys like Spurrier. And then, let's just say you really cuss them a lot, and you might buy voodoo dolls.
Yeah.
And dress them up, like with little visors, but at the end of the day, I really respect what they've done, and I've gotten to know Urban. Has come out to a couple of shows, And when you meet like a football coach like that, and you're like, you see the charisma that they have, and you see why they're able to lead young men. And that's what it's all about. You got to be a great coach, but you got to be able to lead young men and make them go to battle. And like I said, I'd probably put my body on the line for Urban Meyer. So
back in the day, he'd have gotten you to run through the wall.
He's been a great guy to get to know. And now you got to be careful. If I get vocal about a coach, then they may actually want to come to a show a couple years later, and you're like, yeah, sorry I prayed, for you to
for you to lose that
for
game.
you to like tear an ACL
Yeah,
running down the sideline or something. But
they are doing incredible work. We'll close it out with this one more time. If you have the ability to help, if you want to be involved, Brett Boyer Foundation, check it out. Ellen, you do incredible work, and so certainly
yeah,
Luke,
and I'll
and
say,
you and your family.
I'll say, just to lift Ellen up and give her praise. I mean, so many people are reluctant on charities and where does the money actually go, and they're just great that it gets to research, it gets to kids, and it makes a difference. I think there are 12 or 13 kids in the world walking around right now that are living that had small chances of making it. That's 13 that we've affected that we know.
Yeah,
and it's
that's not debatable.
Right, not debatable, which is worth all the work. I mean, all the tireless, sleepless nights that she and the whole crew at Brett Boyer Foundation. I mean, when you're saving lives, it's just so amazing.
No, you guys do truly phenomenal work. Thanks for having us out.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
be back again next year, and check out Brett Boyer Foundation. Make sure that you do whatever you can to help these guys with the absolutely important, incredible, literally life-saving work. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.